Hey guys, Miss Campbell one more time. We're on math lesson module 11, lesson 3 on page 351. And today we're going to be talking about how you can tell if a number is even or odd. Now, a lot of us already know that. We already know the rules, but we're just going to review them again today. It's going to be kind of a quick lesson and I think pretty easy for a lot of you. Okay, so let's look at unlock the problem. It says Grace and her sister chose pairs of factors and guess if the products of their numbers are odd or even. What is the best guess for Grace? Will the most of the products be odd or even? Okay, now you got to remember over here, even numbers are going to end in a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Odd numbers end in a 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So don't forget, those are the rules, okay? Okay, so if you have an even number times an even number, when we did this in our multiplication unit, like 8 times 4, the answer is going to be what? 32. So is that an even or an odd number? Is 32 an even number or an odd number? Well, all you have to look at is the ones place, right? It has a 2. Is the 2 even or odd? The 2 is even. Even. Because you can divide it up equally into two different groups, two groups of 1. Okay, look at this. If you have an even number times an odd number, like 7 times, or 2 times 7, what is that? Yeah, well, that's 14. So if it ends in a 4, is that an even number or an odd number? Well, if you look over here, a 4 is a what? An even number, because it can be grouped into two different groups of 2, right? 2 groups of 2 is 4. Okay, so 14 is an even number. Okay, how about an odd number times an odd number? Oh, okay. How about 9 times 5? What is 9 times 5? 9 times 5 is 45. Is 5 an even number or an odd number? Oh, I see it here in the list of odd numbers. So what do we know then? We know that if you have an even number times an even number, it's an even number. An even number times an odd number, it's an even number. Okay, and we know if it's odd times odd, it's going to be odd. Okay, so let's look over here at the last one. Odd number times an even number. So 3 is an odd number times 6, which is an even number. What is 3 times 6? It's 18. Oh, so is 18 an even number or an odd number? It ends in an 8. And it is an even number, right? So whenever you're working on stuff, if you're looking for even and odd, or to check your work, you can always remember all answers when you multiply are going to be even, except if you have an odd number times an odd number. Okay, so how many out of 4 possibilities in the table result in a product that is a blank number? How many out of 4? Well, how many out of 4 are an even number? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 choices. There's 1, 2, 3. So 3 out of 4 possibilities in the table result that the product is a what? Is an even number. So Grace should guess that most of the products will be even. So when you're multiplying, most of your answers will be even numbers. It says, what if Grace chose 58 as a factor and her sister chose 67? Would the answer be an odd or an even number? Okay, so if you had 58 times a number, is the answer going to be even or odd? Well, look, if you have an even number times an even number, it's going to be even. You have an even number times an odd number, it's going to be even. When if you have an odd number times an even number, it's going to be even. So it doesn't matter if that second number is it even or odd, because 58 is even, the answer will be even. Okay, her sister chose 67 as an answer. Okay, if that is an odd number times something, what is the answer going to be? Well, if you have an odd number, If you multiply that times an odd number, well, let's see. Oh, I see what they're saying. If you had 58 times 67, would that give you an even number or an odd number as an answer? It would give you an even answer, even number, because you have an odd number times an even number. I'm sorry, I misread that problem. So the answer would be an even number. Okay, try this. Tell if the product will be odd or even. Okay, you don't even have to figure these out, but by looking at whether they're even or odd or all even, you can figure out whether the answer is going to be even or odd. So these are both what kind of numbers? 14 and 16 are both even. So if you have an even number times an even number, the answer is going to be what? Even. How about 59 times 622? You have an odd number times an even number. So if you have an odd times an even, it gives you what kind of answer? An even number. Do the rest of these real quick, and then I will check them with you in just a second. Okay, here, what did you get on this one? 231 times 7. Does that give you an even or an odd? We have an odd and an odd, so that will give you an odd answer. 2006 times 3, that's even times an odd, so that will be an even answer. 98 times 45, that's an even times an odd, so that will give you an even answer. And 790 times 51, that's an even times an odd, so that will give you an even answer. Okay, I hope you're seeing kind of the pattern here. All right, let's turn to the next page, 352. It says, a number is divisible by another number if that number is a counting number and the number can be divided evenly. Some numbers have divisibility rules, so it means rules in order to be able to divide them. A number is divisible by 2 if the ones digit is a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So any number that ends in a 2, 4, 6, or 8, you can divide it by 2. Not divisible by 2 are any odd numbers. Any odd numbers cannot be divisible by 2. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Okay, so it says here, what do you notice about the numbers divisible by 2? They're all even. All even numbers. Okay, circle the numbers that are divisible by 2. Okay, so do that real quick. Well, out of all these down here, circle the ones that you can divide by 2. Okay, so this is odd, right? This is odd. This is even. So if it's even number, if it ends in an even number, you can divide it. Okay, you can't do 9. 0 is an even number. 6 is an even number. 1 is not. And 4 is. So those 4 should have been circled on your paper. Okay, tell if the product will be odd or even. Remember, the only time it's odd is when it's odd times an odd. Every other time, it is even. Even. Circle the numbers divisible by 2. Okay, I want you to do the rest of this. It says use the divisibility rule to tell if the number is even or odd. So I want you to write even or odd on the blanks down here. And on these, I want you to circle the ones that are divisible by 2. So pause the video and work on that real quick. Okay, let's look at, now that you've done your work, let's look at it. Number 4, is that divisible by 2? No, it's an odd number. Is number 5? Yes, it ends with an even number. Number 6, no, it's an odd number. Number 7, is that divisible by 2? Yes, because it ends in a 6. How about this one? Ends in a 4. It's an even number. So those are divisible by 2. Okay, on number 9, it says use the divisibility rule to tell if the number is even or odd. Okay, so 9, is that an even or an odd number? Is odd. This one, even. 0, even. Ends in a 4, even. Ends in a 1, odd. ends in a 3, odd, ends in an 8, even, ends in a 5, odd, ends in a 6, even, ends in a 7, odd. Okay, you should have gotten that pretty easily. Okay, let's go look at number 19 on the next page, on page 353. It says Olivia used some beads to make 7 bracelets. She uses 5 beads on each bracelet. Will the number of beads Olivia uses be an even or an odd number? Okay, well there's 7 bracelets. So what would be the math problem? 7 bracelets and there's 5 on each bracelet. That'd be 7 times 5, right? Okay, what is this? Odd number times an odd number. When you have an odd number times an odd number, what is the answer going to be? It's going to be an odd number, which is actually 35, which is an odd number. But when you remember the rule, when you multiply an odd number times an odd number, the answer is an odd. Okay, number 20, what is the error or what is the mistake? It says Noah wrote the number 6,247. Bryson wrote the number 4,332. Both Noah and Bryson say their numbers are divisible by 2. Describe and correct the error. All right, so let's look here. 6,247 and 4,332. Both of them say that their numbers are divisible by 2. Is that correct? Well, let's look at it. If it's divisible by 2, it has to be an even number, right? Is this first number an even number? Does it end in a 2, 4, 6, 8 or a 0? No. This is an odd number. So Bryson was wrong. His number is not even. Now, was Noah? Oh, Noah. Noah wrote the first one. Sorry. I didn't read the problem. And Bryson is the second one. So Bryson said his number was even. Can his number be divided by 2? Yes, it is even. So Bryson was right, but Noah was not. Okay, number 21 says Vanessa is thinking of an even product, so an even number, that's the product, between 40 and 50. One of the factors is even and one of the factors is odd. Both factors are 1-digit numbers. What is Vanessa's number? Let's see. Let's look at that again. Vanessa was thinking of an even product. So that means the answer to a multiplication problem was between 40 and 50. And it has to be an even product. So what numbers are between 40 and 50 that are even numbers? You could have 42, 44, 46, and 48, right? One of the factors is even. So when you get a multiplication problem, one of them is even and the other is odd. And they're both 1-digit numbers. Okay, so how can we get to 42? They're 1-digit numbers. Well, what do I know about 42? I know 6 times 7 equals 42. Oh, is that an even and an odd? And it equals 42? Yeah, that might be our answer. Let's look and see what else we have. 44. The only thing I can think of right now that equals 44 is 11 times 4 equals 44. And since the rule says that both are 1-digit numbers, I know it can't be this one. So that's not the one they're looking for. So not that one. 46. The only thing I can think of right now is 23 times 2 equals 46. 46 is hard to multiply up to. And again, it has to be a 1-digit number, so that 23 will not work. So 46 is out. Okay, how about 48? Well, remember my little rhyme? 6 and 8 went on a date. 6 times 8 is 48. Yep. Okay, are those both 1-digit numbers? Yes. But one has to be an even number and one has to be an odd number. They're both what? That's even and that's even. So that wouldn't work. Is there another way to get to 48? we got 12 times 4, but we can't do that because 12 is a 2-digit number and it's even anyway. So that wouldn't work. So I don't think that's it. I think the first one was the one that we're looking for. 6 times 7 equals 42. Okay, number 22. The price tags on one of the 2 items Nathan wants to buy are 50 cents and 25 cents. Will he pay for the 2 items with an even or an odd number of quarters? Ooh. Okay. So, how many quarters is he going to need to pay for the 50-cent one? Well, 25 plus 25 equals 50, right? So that one took 2 quarters. And the one that cost 25 cents, how many is that? That's just 1, right? So how many quarters is he going to need? He's going to need 3 quarters. But the question is, will he pay for the 2 items with an even or an odd number of quarters? So 3 quarters, is that even or odd number of quarters? That is an odd number of quarters because 3 cannot be divided up into 2 different groups evenly. Okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to do page 354 on your own. Get your folks to check it. After they finish checking it, I want you to go ahead and do page 355, 356, and take a picture of each side of your paper, post it on your Google Classroom page so that your teacher can grade it. So I hope you had fun, and I will talk to you later.